They took my blood pressure and everybody started to panic. And I'm looking around at these people like, what in the world is going on? And they thought I was actively in a stroke. My blood pressure was 235, I believe, over 100 and something. Yeah. Yeah. And I was walking around with that. God is so good. Truly, God is so good. Because at any moment, at that level, I truly could have. Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Being Well podcast. So today we are talking about prioritizing self-care, and this is actually going to be a two-part conversation. Today I'm by myself. I'm just flying solo, but then the next conversation I will be joined by Coach Jeff, who is also my eldest child, to kind of give some tips for caregivers um, and really just anybody who is really trying to figure out what self-care means for them. And so we'll do that in part two. But today I wanted to jump on and kind of give you some backstory into how I found myself um, prioritizing myself. So 2024 for me was all about my health. And over the course of the year, maybe a little bit more than a year, I lost over 80 pounds. And I am still actively trying to lose. I'm kind of in a plateau at this point, but but I'm still actively trying to lose, just number wise, a few more. But anyways, how I found myself there was back in 2022. Um, I was having some girl challenges, and I found myself needing a hysterectomy. And even as I planned for the hysterectomy in terms of, talking to my doctor and all the stuff, I was really concerned with what it was going to mean for Elijah, because I am the primary caregiver. My husband is very hands on, he is very involved, but he leaves home to go to work every day. And I work from home. And so I was really, really stressing out about what it was going to mean for all of the home stuff that I do. What is it going to mean for you know, if something unexpected happened, to which we know it can when you are navigating a medically complex diagnosis, and I'm not available. I was the downtime that was going to be required for recovery was outweighing um, if I actually needed to go through with having the surgery, which is a major surgery, and you are out of commission for like 8 weeks. Um, and so it wasn't until we were sitting around the house and my husband and daughter was like, Mom, if you don't stop thinking about all the, well, who's gonna do this and who's not gonna do, like, we will. And and I don't know, it was like, I think we run on autopilot so much that we lose sight of ourselves. Like, we are always pouring into other people, that we don't realize that every time we get a little refill, we're giving it away. And that's why we're always depleted. And it was in that conversation with them that I was like, okay, let me go ahead and call my doctor and confirm that yes, I'm going to do this, right? So decided to go ahead and set up the procedure and everything, and it was a go. And sorry, I have like this speckle or something on my glasses, and it's driving me crazy. Um, and so as I was preparing for the surgery, like the pre-op phase of it, I went in for my pre-op and my blood pressure was high. And I did not notice, again, that whole autopilot thing. I did not even realize that my blood pressure, like that I was having some of the symptoms that I was having, right? And I'll explain that in a second. So, went in for my pre-op, my blood pressure was high, and it wasn't just high, I was at what they call stroke level high. And so um at the pre-op appointment, they said you should probably go to like um a doc in a box, or like a an American Family Care. Like you should probably go to one of those kind of places, um and just get some blood pressure medication or something, because at the time I did not have a primary care. I had my girl doctor. I had, I did all of the stuff except for I did not have a primary care doctor. I had my specialty doctors, and that was it. So, um, I was like, oh, it'll be fine, and they told me if you show up on your surgery day and your blood pressure is this high, they're not going to do surgery. So I came home, and so now I'm trying to be in tune with myself, and I'm like, do I feel weird? Because I was feeling fine until she told me that my blood pressure was as high as it was. So, now is it just my psyche, or do I really now notice this grogginess that I have dismissed for so long? And so I told myself, well, if I'm not feeling good tomorrow, I'm going to just go to, just like um, what do you call them? Like a walk-in clinic. I'm just going to go to one of those and see what they say or whatever. Made an appointment. I want to say that was on a Thursday. I kind of just assessed myself on Friday, and I did start to notice that I was not feeling my best. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just more in tune with, I do feel kind of weird, and I do feel kind of like how did I miss this grogginess? Like how did I miss the little dots, like the little starry dots when you look off sometimes? Like I just completely dismissed it all. So I want to say it was Saturday morning. I decided to I made an appointment. On my way to that appointment, it literally just fell into my mind. You should go to the ER, not to the walk-in clinic. So I decided to go to the ER instead, and went to the ER, drove myself, went to the ER, and told them that that I had high blood pressure a couple days ago when I went in for my pre-op, and and now I'm noticing that I'm not feeling my best. Wanted to just come in, make sure I'm good. They took my blood pressure, and everybody started to panic. And I'm looking around at these people like, what in the world is going on? And they thought I was actively in a stroke. My blood pressure was 235, I believe, over 100 and something. Yeah, yeah. And I was walking around with that. God is so good. Truly, God is so good. Because at any moment, at that level, I truly could have. Yeah, yeah. So they did all the stuff and hooked me up to these machines and, you know, did CAT scans and checked my heart and checked my brain and my kidneys and all the stuff. And the doctor came in and she started talking about, you know, nutrition. And I told her how we eat at home. And she was like, hmm, like, are you eating fried foods, breaded foods, da da da? Like, I was like, no, I don't, no. Like, even when we eat out, that's not the kind of stuff that we're eating. We were not eating like the best eating out, but like, it wasn't just like the stereotypical like fried chicken, soul food type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, she was like, you know, we assessed the kind of things that I do eat, and I was not eating nutritionally enough. And so my body was fighting. I was also terribly overweight, um, obese even, according to the BMI scale. Um, and I had been walking around with this blood pressure, like my body had been working hard, harder and harder year after year to sustain me, that I had become numb to those feelings of imbalance. And I just didn't even notice that I wasn't feeling my best. So they gave me blood pressure medicine, went in a couple of days later for my hysterectomy, and my blood pressure was starting to regulate. It was still very high, but it was not where it was. So it was low enough for them to do the procedure, but it was still very, very high critically. So did all my stuff, followed up, got a primary care doctor, and here I am now going to the doctor every 6 months because of hypertension. 2023, so all of that was 2022. 2023, um, after about a year on the medicine, I did start trying to eat a little better. Still not, you know, still days where I wasn't nutritionally um taking in the best options, or if I wasn't eating enough. And when I say that, I mean, you know, just the macros and, you know, the balance between protein and carb and all the stuff. Like, I was literally all over the place. And so, I found myself, because of the high blood pressure medicine that I was on 3 medications that I was taking by way of 2 pills. Those medications were stripping the potassium out of my body. So 2023, I find myself now on potassium. So now I'm on 4 medications, 3 pills, and I'm like, something's got to give. Um, Even on the pills, even when I was doing my best in terms of dietary, nutritional, all the stuff, my blood pressure was still being high. And so I knew in that moment I needed to do something about my weight. So I'm on the medicine, blood pressure still high. I'm learning how to eat better, blood pressure still high. The only thing left is to get my weight under control. And so in September of 2023, I reached out to my doctor and I told her that I wanted to do something about my weight. I wanted her to be involved. I had had success with the keto diet before, so I was strongly considering that. But I didn't want to feel restricted. So I wanted to really try to find some balance. But ultimately, I wanted, I wanted her to do some labs. I wanted to check my blood pressure before I started to kind of get a baseline. I wanted to check my all of my labs in terms of CBCs, just all the stuff. I wanted to know my potassium. I wanted to know where my lipids, where am I now before I get started here, so I can see how things are progressing over time. And so we did all of that, and September to December, I struggled. January 2024, I said, okay, no more excuses. like literally no more excuses. It was January 8th, 2024. I got the kids off to school and I said, I'm going to the gym. I went to the gym and that was the day I got serious. Um, I don't know. It was just a turning point. I got really, really serious about it. And I decided I needed to take charge of my health, and that included my weight. So I started going to the gym like 3 and 4 times a week. I started eating better. I tried like the little home delivery meal boxes and all the stuff, which worked out. They're just not for a family size like mine. Um, I just really got intentional about my weight health, and I slowly started seeing the scale change. It was not quick. It was not, you know, the results were sometimes they felt like they were delayed, but after 12 months, I lost over 80 pounds. And so that averages to about 2 pounds a week, which is what's recommended. Um, and so I lost over 80 pounds. And so over the course of that time, I have been able to come off two of the blood pressure medications. And so I'm still taking one blood pressure pill. Um, I am completely off the potassium, and I'm eating better than I ever have, which, and I still have, my Chick-fil-A, I still have my Domino's, I still enjoy food. I still have my cake and cookies and, but now it's more about moderation. And so I'm just really, really more in tune with what I put in my body. Um, I went to the doctor this week, and I still got to take this last blood pressure pill because even according to the BMI, even after 80 pounds lost, I'm still considered overweight. And we did labs because the goal now is to see if the, if removing the last pill, if it is slowly regulating my body so I can come off the last one that I'm taking. So the last pill meaning the second one. And then I still have one more that I'm trying to get off of. And I'm hoping over the next 6 months, that will be the goal. Because I'm still going every 6 months strictly for my blood pressure. And I really want to get to just annual checkups like everybody else, right? So so that's where I am in terms of my weight health and all the stuff. And that's how I find myself really prioritizing myself. It was realizing that I had a support system. I had a conversation with my husband, I had a conversation with my son. Um, um, and I talked about, my goals and where I wanted to be. And, a slimmer physique is the byproduct of the hard work. But really, I don't want my heart to work as hard as it did to keep my body here. You know what I'm saying? Like my heart was working really, really hard. And when I thought about how hard it was working to pump the blood throughout my overweight body, I was putting so much stress on my heart and all the other organs, my kidneys, and I was just doing so much damage to myself on the inside that I did not think about until I thought about it. And so I needed to make that change for me. Um, and shout out to the people who I know um, successfully lost weight, and I reached out to them, friends of mine, and we had conversations. And shout out to the people, who were making recommendations and telling me try this and try this and try this and try this and all the stuff. And at the end of the day, sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. I honestly did what worked for Sarita. And 2 pounds a week was slow, but it worked for me. And and I never would have thought that I would be where I am now, more than 80 pounds lost in 12 months. And and so yeah. I wanted to kind of give you some inside um, info into the prioritizing me and choosing me. Not that I wasn't choosing myself before. I think it's just the reality of, I do so much for my family that I told myself that I didn't have time when truly I did. I had the same amount of time then that I have now. Now I'm just taking it. And so that's where I want to leave us today. Choose yourself just like you choose everyone you love, and go to make you a better you. And so I just kind of wanted to give some backstory into the prioritizing self-care and what that looked like for me. And one of the ways that I did that was um, taking control of my health. Something that I can do, because some things are out of my control, and I have to take that as it comes. And so if you're not yet following the Being Real podcast, you should be. Go ahead and follow and subscribe. If you are a visual person, you can find the video version of our podcast on YouTube. You can stream Being Rare wherever you stream your podcast. Stay tuned for part 2 of Prioritizing Self-Care. I'll be sitting down with my eldest child, Jeff, who is a certified personal trainer and professional bodybuilder. I hope you're doing well. Until the next one, be rare. Holla. Peace.